Hey, Bam, sorry about that. I wanted to ask, you obviously arrived to Vegas, so trying to figure out kind of what your fit would be on this team. I know it's still very early, but through the first three exhibitions, and what have you learned about, your role with this group, and what have you noticed have been maybe the biggest differences from what you're used to, with what you do with the Heat?
Uh, it feels like I'm in a similar role. Just I don't know. Feels like I'm in a similar role, and you learn from the guy that's you're on the court with. So you just got to learn dudes' tendencies, and that's the easy part because we're all great at communicating. We're all great at just being honest with one another. So I feel like I'm in a similar role, but more of a scoring, passing threat than usual.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Nick Carraway, and then we'll go to Kobe Price.
Hey, man. Obviously, with the tough news today, that Bradley Beal's not going to be able to go to Tokyo, and U.S. obviously looking to replace his spot. Do you secretly pull, not secretly, but do you pull for them to pick someone that you're familiar with from the Heat? Is that something that you've thought of today, or you think about possibly making a recruiting pitch for anybody on your team?
That's not something I thought about because the dude just got COVID, and you don't really think about who's next if somebody catches COVID. Like, COVID is deadly, so the first thing you think about is not who I can get from my team or who's next up. You think about how they're doing and what's their symptoms and what they're going through.
Next up is Kobe Price, and then we'll go to Cooper Moorhead.
Hey, Bam, how are you?
What's up, guy?
We were just speaking with Draymond, and I think it was Cooper asked him about, comparing, your game to his. And he was talking about how you were showing him about, fake dribble handoff and how to be effective in that way. I guess, what have you picked up from Draymond, and what have you learned from him being around him these past couple of weeks?
How vocal he is. I mean, that's the one thing that makes Draymond Draymond. How vocal he is and how much a leader he can be without, scoring or putting the ball in the basket. Obviously, he'll have a game where he'll have 1 point, but he'll have 16 rebounds and like 17 assists. And just trying to figure out how to be that impactful, and knowing that I have the ability to score, this is going to help me along the way.
Appreciate it.
Next up is Cooper Moorhead, and we'll go to Orr Stevenson.
Hey, Bam, good to see you. You've played with great shooters, you've played with good scorers before, but getting to play with Dame, KD, guys who can pull up off the dribble from the logo if they want to. What do you think that unlocks about your game as far as how you can play off them?
Spacing. That gives me easier driving lanes. It makes it easier for me to get a driving kick, and then it helps me easier to get assists. So that's the benefit of playing with those type of guys. You get easy driving lanes and easy assists.
And then quickly, you did get a few minutes with Draymond the other day on the court. It's this day and age, you don't always get to play with another big who isn't a pure three-point threat all the time. But because you guys are both such good playmakers, is that what you think makes that grouping work at times?
Yeah. Really, one thing about it, we don't want everybody on the court thinking too much. So I feel like it's me and Dre responsibility to do all the little stuff, the screening, getting people open, making the extra pass. And obviously, go score when it's an opportunity.
Thank you.
Next up is Zora Stevenson, and then Brian Mahoney.
Hi, Bam. You were just talking about, just priorities really when it comes to COVID, right? And worrying about the human being over, the next business thing at hand. So I'm wondering, what have you done over the course of the season? We've all known people that have, we've all been affected by this, right? So what do you do in this instance? Do you reach out to your teammates? Do you give them time? What's your process to just be a good human being in this instance?
I mean, I feel like bottom line, you should always reach out to somebody who catches COVID that you know. And I did that, and he said he was good. He said he had no symptoms. So, that's etiquette number one. You just check up on the person, and then you worry about the next steps after that.
I do have a quick basketball question for you. You all are about to play Australia for the second time. How valuable is it to play a team twice in such a short period of time as you all just prepare for your larger goal ahead in Tokyo?
Just because, well, obviously we lost the first game. So, the second game, we can really hone in and really learn their schemes and figure out how we can conquer their offense and what we could have did better. So we get a second crack at it.
Thank you. Brendan Tobin.
Hi, Bam. Draymond was just talking about obviously what a dream it is for so many people to play for the U.S. team. And, when you see it get taken away like this for Bradley, I mean, you almost made a team a couple of years ago. Does it make you appreciate more here that you have a second shot at this? Sometimes the guys only get one shot. And, when you didn't make it the first time a couple of years ago, did you tell yourself, I'm young, I'm going to get there next time? Or did you ever worry, like, who knows if I'll ever get the call up again?
No, like I've always said before, I feel like I should have been on the team from the get-go. But when Pop hashed it out, and I just worked on my game. He said I wasn't ready, so I had a point to prove that I could have been on the team, and that was my goal. And I did that. I'm here now, so it's my opportunity to show why I'm here.
I think they said you should have made it 2 back then. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian. We'll go to Brendan Tobin and then Paul Gant.
Bam, Udonis posted a photo of you guys getting a chance to get almost like a mini team dinner out there in Vegas, you and Gabe and all the crew there. What was the opportunity like, getting a little bit of separation from the season, just kind of getting to relax and I'm sure enjoy each other's company without having to focus on a season? And also, just what have you made of what Gabe and Precious and KZ have gotten to do for Team Nigeria?
Man, I'm so proud of those three just because they're playing high-level basketball. And Vincent particularly, because, Vincent was in a role with us where he was a defensive player. He picked up 94 feet, and he got everybody involved. Now he gets to go back to what I saw Vincent in the G League was, and that was a scoring guard. And just the fact that he gets to do that and he gets to be himself, I love that for him, and he's putting people on notice, and so is KZ and so is Precious. They're getting the opportunity to play and they're making the most of their minutes.
Thank you. Next up is Paul Gant and Joe Varden.
Bam, how are you, sir?
How you doing?
Doing well. So the international game is much more physical than the NBA game. As a big, do you enjoy the physicality of the international game?
Yeah. Just because you get away with the little stuff that you wouldn't get away with in the NBA. I feel like a lot of times in the international world, it doesn't matter about the name on the back of the jersey. It's mano-a-mano physicality, and that benefits a lot of us. You don't get ticky-tacky fouls because you only get 5 in the international world.
Joe, you're up, and then we'll finish with Raphael Hayes.
Hey, Bam, thanks for doing this. As you, of course, know and remember, the Heat were one of the teams that really got it pretty good from COVID. Really threw off a lot of what you guys were trying to do, and a bunch of people got sick and protocol and all that stuff. Is what's happening today and yesterday, is that evoking some of those bad memories, or is this is it different now because of the vaccine or any number of other things?
I mean, it still definitely gives you PTSD. Like, somebody catching COVID. I remember when I had it, and it's just one of those things I wouldn't wish on anybody. So it does give you PTSD, but like I said earlier, I checked on Brad. He had no symptoms, so I feel like this is gonna pass through and he's gonna be okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then we'll finish up with Raphael Haynes.
Hey, Bam, this is Raphael Haynes with the 3-point conversion. Always good to talk to you. I wanted to ask you, now that you've had a few days to rest, how does that feel to get that practice in, because you all played back to back and you had, I think, a day off and played again before that. So how has it been to get that practice in and how has the team looked?
I feel like we're looking pretty good. I feel like we're all getting our win. We're all getting in the top basketball shape, and we're starting to learn how to exist on the court together. A lot of times everybody on the USA team, they're the guy on their team, so they have the ball in their hand the most. So just adjusting and figuring out the roles and what everybody has to do and what everybody's responsibilities. But I feel like the group we have is just easier because we all communicate, we're all honest, and we're all picking our spots, and we're all getting comfortable with being on the court with each other.
And real quickly, have you gotten used to the fact that you can't take the ball out the rim when it's rolling around inside of it? Has that?
I mean, we definitely remind each other during free throws, and this is one of those things we just got to keep reminding each other about. And one of these days, we'll actually do it.